Check about the useEffect hook in React. It is a powerful tool for handling side effects in functional components. Side effects are any actions that happen outside the normal flow of components rendering. We may tell some side effects like fetching data from an API, setting up subscriptions, or directly manipulating the DOM, like changing the title of the page or changing anything in the DOM. For these purposes we can use the useEffect. Then now I have created a sample component for explaining the useEffect. It is a very small component, only having a state variable and a useEffect function and a button. When running it, it looks like here, just a button and a count. So we can check what it is doing. When clicking on the button, it is incrementing the counter, just incrementing the counter. Then there is a useEffect. It is only working in the first rendering because it has a dependency array. This is it. It has nothing, so it will only work in the first rendering of the page, first rendering of this component. We can check it like I am just refreshing the page, so the component is rendering, so it is displayed here. useEffect called the count is now 0. When clicking on me, it is incrementing the counter, but there is no effect in the useEffect. It is not calling. Okay, so if we need a setting like when we changing the count, we have to do something. So we are adding the count in the useEffect dependency array. So when we changing the count, it will call the useEffect. The return statement, we can see a return statement. It is calling before it is rendering, like when it is unmounting this component, it is calling this. When first time calling, it is doing the function body like console.log, this statement, and the return statement is storing in the memory. When mounting of the component, it will call the return statement. You can do anything in the return statement. Okay, now I have added the count in the dependency array. So when we changing the count by clicking on this, it will call the useEffect. We can check if it is working. I'm just refreshing the page. First time it is entered to the useEffect, then clicking on me, first it is going to the return statement and it is consoling what it is in it, like in return. Then it is running the useEffect statement. You can see that useEffect called, the count is now 1. Then again clicking on it, the count is changed and the useEffect is called again. So this is the basic working of it. If we don't add this count, this will only work in the first time. You can use this like for fetching the API, for fetching any API details, API for like fetching data from the API. You can use it without any argument, so it is only calling one time. If you put anything here, it will calling again and again when the state values are changing, because the component is re-rendering when we change the state values. Like if we put a console.log here, just testing, we can see that it is calling again and again when changing the state. Let's see. Okay, you can see that it is rendering. Now it is rendered 2 times. Then click me. you can see that it is rendering, and it is rendering one time because it is in a development mode. It is showing us twice. Okay, so for doing any fetch operation like getting data from the API, you can add it here in the use effect. It is only calling the first time when loading the component. If the dependency is there, it is calling in the first time when rendering, in the first time rendering, and when changing the dependency, it is calling. Okay, so I think you get an idea about it. Now you can now we can check the documentation of it, and you can see many features, many other things like if you need to check more about it, you can use the tutorial. Here you can see that it is setting up a connection to a server, and it is disconnecting when in the return statement. Okay, then there is many examples, connection and reconnection. Here it is sending a server URL and room ID to the useEffect dependency array. So whenever these values changing, it is activating the useEffect and running it. Okay, then you can check this tutorial and you can see many things about it. The basic things are here. Okay, if you forget to add this optional dependency array, it will call each time, so each time rendering. So when you change anything in the component, it will render. You can check it, like it may cause an error, like refreshing it, you can see that it is calling every time. If there is any state change or any re-rendering in the component, it will call. So if you want to only call in the first rendering, you can add a empty array. If you need to run it in first render and then changing any of the state variables or any props that is coming from here, props, you can add them in a comma separated values. Okay, so I think that's it for now. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.